6/2022. I'm watching Channel 7, Eyewitness News. It's a 6 o'clock news. It's a little later, though. I'm watching a rerun. And on Channel 7 comes this announcement from something that's wearing a hard hat, a Hardhat, that says Tishman, Tishman. I have no idea who or what that is. Never heard of them before. Again, they have the Tisch Center, but that's actors. Or so the news was educating the public on. I mean, I'm trying to follow along because I don't know this version of New York. But in it, there where the ball drops at New Year's, they're investing some kind of $500 million. I mean, there's a waste to put some augmented reality crap in there. I mean, I haven't been able to have a house, a career, and a salary. You think before you waste any more money on the junk in New York City, like someone could at least extend me like the same courtesy that they gave all the other kids within my life frame? I mean, it's ridiculous. So anyway, so then he mentions something, then Eric Adams comes on, and he says something about America's the center of the universe. Like key up words and sentences that America's the center of the universe, and that as long as New York City's open, the lights are something's happening because the lights are on. I don't know, with electricity and obesity, God only knows. So this is the
A makeover announced today for one of the most popular high-rise buildings in New York City.
Yeah, at least on New Year's Eve, it is the most popular. The building is where the annual ball drop happens in Times Square, and it is about to get a $500 million redo. The building owners...
Oh, sorry, $500 million. And they don't even have enough to find in their budgets a job placement, a career, and salary for one of the members that were born in the state. I mean, again, just attributing to just how corrupt the city, the governments, or governance has been since my arrival.
Are the ones who are actually paying for it.
Elected official today, though, insists New Yorkers will also benefit, and the high-tech part of this is really high-tech. Here's Laura Glassberg.
On most days, you might not even notice one Times Square, but on New Year's Eve, it is a focal point. The trapezoidal building that hosts the ball drop each year was erected 118 years ago. It's now getting a massive $500 million makeover.
This is truly big.
See, first they said billion, now she says million.
An old-fashioned barn raising that only an alliance between the local officials, the city, the agencies, the state could pull off something like this for the benefit of the city.
The new One Times Square will offer a museum and a viewing deck on the
Whatever he's talking about, I wasn't invited into.
The 19th floor, and augmented reality will allow people in other parts of the world to experience the building from afar. But New York still needs tourists. Foot traffic here still down about 20% from pre-pandemic. But developers believe Times Square will remain the crossroads of the world.
Standing in Times Square today, we look around and point to all the other projects that we have done, and some...
I've never even heard that company. It's AECOM, something like that. Hold on.
Here, still down about 20% from pre-pandemic, but developers believe Times Square will remain the crossroads of the world.
Standing in Times Square today, we look around and...
I I've never heard. I mean, like, I wouldn't have any way of finding her name or whoever she is, whatever she's in charge of. But AECOM and Tishman, these are not like household names in Queens. I mean, they didn't promote them in the public schools. They're not on my Unrest in the American Colonies. They're not referenced in the American Revolutionary War. How does one survive New York City if these are part of the solution team to keep New York City open and functioning? Just curious. Because when interaction doesn't, and like contacts don't come directly from this children's education in the state and city, how are they ever supposed to survive the state and the city?
And point to all the other projects that we have done, and some of which have begun at moments of transition and challenge. But the people who developed these great buildings never regretted it.
This is the center of the universe for America. And when the lights are on Broadway and Times Square, the lights are on in America.
The construction project will employ about 500 people and take a little more than 2 years, but that ball drop will not be impacted. Lauren Glassberg, Channel 7 Eyewitness News. That deck looks cool.
Yeah, it looks very cool.
So I don't know, is it like a camaraderie message? Because it kind of what it felt like, but again, I never know. Star 1978, Star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza, it's Earth, Solar System, Milky Way Universe, Galaxy is broken, and it's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361.